This week's weekly ritual is dedicated to the memory and the music of both Jeff LeBar and Gary Corbett, who passed away and went over the Rainbow Bridge to rock Valhalla this week. Rest in peace. What's up, everybody? It's Keefy, and you're watching the weekly ritual, Ghost Cult's news show, right here on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. GhostCultBand.com is a small business. With that out of the way, let's get into it. In case you missed it, features at Ghost Cult Magazine. We kick this week's features off with a bang as we talk to Jesse Leach of Killswitch Engage and Times of Grace. Times of Grace's brand new album is out this week. We also talk to the guys from Sour Times. Their recent album, The 11th Hour, is out now. And now, the news rundown. We start this week's news show off with a heavy heart as we have to report the passing of two rockers. Jeff LeBar, the longtime guitarist of Cinderella, died at age 58 this week. No cause of death has been revealed, and news of his passing was broken on social media by his son and then reported by Metal Sludge. Rest in peace, Jeff. We also have to bring you the news of the passing of Gary Corbett, a former professional keyboard player who had done live touring work with both Kiss and Cinderella in his career. He had many writing credits, including She Bop with Cyndi Lauper, and a long association with ex-Foreigner singer Luke Graham's band. Apparently, Gary had a very bad bout of brain cancer that spread very rapidly to the rest of his body and took his life. His family posted a heartbreaking message on social media, posting the news and just expressing their grief. We're deeply sorry for this loss of Gary to the music community and to his fans, friends, and family at this time. Tours and shows are back, my friends. We start every news show off, or near the top of the news show every week, with news of tours being booked, shows and festivals being announced, and tours being canceled and postponed still, as we continue to work through this crazy time in the world. So enjoy some tour news. Bummer news, as Foo Fighters have been forced to cancel their highly anticipated sold-out show at the LA Forum in their hometown of Los Angeles this weekend. Unfortunately, a member of their crew, not the band, but their team, someone in their team, contracted coronavirus, and they felt like a lot of people were exposed and it was prudent to cancel the show. Refund information is available at FooFighters.com, and hopefully the band will reschedule at some point, as this is the beginning of their major headline tour. They did announce two shows, their first ever two shows in Alaska later this year, which is pretty cool. Rockers Buckcherry have been forced to cancel their tour, at least the next few weeks worth of dates, because somebody in the band or multiple members of the band have contracted coronavirus. The affected dates are on the band's website and social media, and they were deeply sorry to cancel, but hopefully nobody is severely affected and it passes soon. Rough News is In Flames has had to cancel their participation in the Metal Tour of the Year. You're supposed to say it in that voice. The Metal Tour of the Year is headlined by Megadeth, Lamb of God, and Trivium, and In Flames was to open those dates of amphitheaters kicking off later this summer. Unfortunately, In Flames is having visa problems. No word as to whether that is because of Brexit or just some other uncertainty in the world with getting their travel visas together. So In Flames has had to drop off the tour. That's a super bummer. Replacing them is Hatebreed, which will be a lot of fun, but I'm sure fans who are going for In Flames are going to be like, Butcher Babies have announced the Butcher Babies vs. Goliath tour, where they will play their entire debut album, as well as some other tracks, including some of their new material, probably. The band has announced that Infected Rain and Stitched Apart will open and provide direct support, and we're super excited for more Butcher Babies news. Metal Allegiance has announced a string of tour dates, which reunites the band. It's been a few years since they've been on tour. The super group of metal musicians not only makes their own awesome original albums, but does great metal covers. The tour will feature typical members of Metal Allegiance like Mark Mengi and Mike Portnoy and Alex Skolnick and Andreas Kisser and Mark Asageda and John Bush. So super cool. We're looking forward to those shows. Disciples of Verity, the metal supergroup featuring members of God Forbid, Negative Sky, and Living Colour, has booked an East Coast tour. We're really excited to hear them book out some more dates across the country, but we're pretty stoked that they're going to hit the road and play tracks from their Pragmatic Sanction debut. The story of the week is Iron Frickin' Maiden. Up the irons! Iron Maiden is back, my friends. They dropped a brand new single, the presumed title of their upcoming album, Writing on the Wall, and it comes with an incredible mini film and animated music video. It's absolutely wild. If you love Iron Maiden, there's all little clues and Easter eggs of Iron Maiden history in this video. The song is great. It's very mid-tempo, heavy metal rock song, and it's got a great guitar solo, and Bruce sounds amazing. This is just the first salvo of what is expected to be a tremendous time for Iron Maiden. They are back, my friends, with new music, and we're super stoked. Metallica has announced 2 concerts honoring their 40th anniversary of Metallica. Hard to believe 40 years. Seemed like just yesterday was the 10-year celebration where they did a week of shows. Once again, the shows will be in their hometown of San Francisco, this time at the Chase Center, which Metallica helped open with the S&M concert 2 years ago, almost exactly. So tickets go on sale. There'll be actually a contest to win the chance to buy tickets only for their 5th member fan club, which you can check out at the link below. There will also be a second chance ticket option happening a week later. The main bunch of tickets go on sale next week, and it's very cool. Stay tuned to this space for more Metallica stuff. Killswitch Engage has announced an incredible live stream event where they will play Atonement and their self-titled album in successive days, all complete. Filmed at the Worcester Palladium, their hometown venue. This is super cool. It's actually technically called Killswitch Engage, Atonement, Self-Titled, Vaccinated and Intoxicated. I expect nothing less than puns from Killswitch Engage. There are ticket options and merch bundles available from the band's website, and we're super stoked for this. Our very own producer and director, Omar Cordy, helped film the event, so that's pretty cool. Good job, buddy. Experimental metal band Igorrr has announced a tremendous lineup change which sees them lose 2 of their core members. Founding vocalist Laurent and backup vocalist Laurie both have departed the band. Laurent apparently does not want to get vaccinated, does not want to believe in the coronavirus, and decided he could not tour or participate in tours or shows with the band because you pretty much have to either be vaccinated or get a COVID test to do any touring right now. And so the band decided to move on without him. Laurie had already been indicating that she was going to step down and step away from music and step down from the band. They replaced those 2 with 3 new members and booked a bunch of tour dates in which they're hoping to bring that Igorrr music out to the fans. Rough stuff, but cool that they're going to soldier on. Their recent album, Spirituality and Distortion, is out now on Metal Blade. InsideOut Music, one of the leading labels in progressive rock and metal, has announced the signing of none other than Jethro Tull. Jethro Tull, the one-time Grammy Award scourge of Metallica, is back with their legendary career. They're going to create a brand new album. They're still led by the great Ian Anderson, and very, very cool stuff for InsideOut to partner up with such a legendary name in progressive rock. Hot on the heels of the new Trivium single, In the Court of the Dragon, K Heafy has some big news. He has joined the board of directors of a charity organization called StackUp.org, an organization that provides money and resources through gaming to help veterans, especially to prevent suicide among veterans, which is at an all-time high. We don't do a very good job at all of supporting and taking care of our veterans, and this is a tremendous charity. They do great work. We shared the news. Matt has shared the news on his social media. He's actually been supporting the organization for many years, and now he joins their board of directors, kind of a corporate thing, but in this case, very cool. TURNSTILE has dropped a brand new single, Alien Love Call, featuring Blood Orange, and they announced a brand new album, Glow On, due later this summer on Roadrunner Records. Super cool for the avant-garde hardcore band. They just dropped their recent EP and their short film. Some very cool stuff going on in the Turnstile camp. They also have a huge headline tour coming up soon. And now for an update on a story we've been following for a while. Exodus drummer Tom Hunting underwent a complete gastrectomy this week, and apparently it was a success. Even though he had been receiving treatment for cancer for the last 5 months and the size of the tumor had shrunk, they needed to go in and do the surgery to get out the rest of it. Apparently, according to a post from Gary Holt, who was there for it, it went very well. He's doing really well in recovering. He still hopes to get out there and play drums again on tour. Exodus' new record, Persona Non Grata, comes out this fall at Nuclear Blast Records. There are now 2 charity events happening for Tom Hunting. One this weekend at Holy Diver in Sacramento, with a tremendous charity auction, and a GoFundMe has been launched for Tom and raised almost $100,000. And now a second event has been added in September with different bands in San Francisco. Just super cool to see the metal community support Tom so well. Get well soon, Tom. We love you. Sony Music Publishing has announced a deal to acquire the complete rights to the whole catalog of AC/DC from a company called Alberts in Australia. This is incredible, a great opportunity for AC/DC to ensure the legacy of their music goes on and on forever, long after the band is here. And of course, you already have heard AC/DC in movies like Iron Man 2 and car commercials from Cadillac, but now Sony, which is one of the biggest music publishers in the world, will administer the AC/DC catalog. We're probably going to let a lot more cool integrations and things show up with AC/DC riffs in it really soon. Podcaster Jim Saxton is going to be directing a documentary on the history of Roadrunner Records. Roadrunner Records, one of the greatest record labels in rock and metal history. They've had so many legendary bands: Slipknot, Typo Negative, Sepultura, Trivium, Machine Head, and many, many more that we love here at Ghost Cult. Jim is going to talk to many artists. He's going to talk to producers, record producers, staff, everybody involved with Roadrunner and their whole history. 40 years of Roadrunner this year to celebrate. That documentary will not come out until 2023, but in the meantime, we're probably going to get a lot of cool snippets and information and things leak out. So stay tuned right here. Z2 Comics has been killing it lately with incredible graphic novels from Anthrax and Joan Jett and Blondie, and past ones from Andy Black and Steve Aoki and DMC of Run DMC, and so many. And they just announced 2 more killer ones. Rise Against will release Nowhere Generation through Z2, which is a narrative storytelling of their recent album Nowhere Generation, which is out now, and it's full of bangers. It's awesome. And a more curious take, Ivan Moody of Five Finger Death Punch will have an illustrated book of his lyrics. Very strange that Ivan Moody's lyrics would be illustrated, but cool that he has a graphic novel coming out. Z2 is awesome if you like that kind of stuff. It's Shark Week! But it's not only Shark Week, it's Livestream Week. There's a ton of live streams. If you saw our live stream preview video a few weeks ago, this week saw 3 major live streams happen. Yesterday was Mastodon's awesome Georgia Aquarium acoustic set, which we saw and it was awesome. Anthrax will host their 40th anniversary live stream, which we helped participate in the contest for. Thank you everybody that joined in on that. And Within Temptation will host their incredible sounding virtual reality live stream experience that's happening over 2 days this weekend. Check them out. Technical death metal greats Obscura will release their new album later this year, A Valediction, and they dropped a brand new single and video for their song Solaris, which is awesome. Hardcore metal legends Body Count, led by rapper and actor Ice-T, has dropped a new video for their song The Hate Is Real, their second fan-made video for this track, based on the contest they held last spring. The first one had sock puppets. This one's a little more moody, noirish type of video. Very cool stuff. Body Count just won the Grammy for their album Carnivore, which is out now in Century Media, and they are in the studio right now grinding away on a new Body Count album for 2022. Big news from the punk legend Circle Jerks. They have now added Joey Castillo as their drummer. You might know Joey's work from bands such as Queens of the Stone Age, Blood Clot, Zack Sabbath, and many, many more. And this is just one more bullet in his belt. This is really awesome. Circle Jerks are one of the greatest bands ever in punk and rock generally, and they have 40 plus years as a band, which is really incredible. And now Joey's with them. Apparently they're going to hit the road and go on tour, because tour forever now that you can. We brought you the story in the past about Bill Tolley, the late great drummer of death metal greats Internal Bleeding, who died. He's a New York City firefighter, and he died battling a blaze in Ridgewood, Queens a few years ago. There have been many, many tributes to Bill and his talent and his wonderfulness as a person. There's been a street named for him. There's been many tours and tributes to him, and now the town of Bethpage, Long Island, has dedicated a park to Bill's memory. This is really touching and beautiful. It was a great ceremony last month, and we're just really tickled that Bill's memory continues to shine, and many, many people continue to uplift him in and out of the metal community. Rest in power, Bill. I shit you not. Unbelievable stories you can't make up. Ed Sheeran wants to make a death metal record. I'm not making this shit up. Apparently Ed grew up a huge fan of extreme metal and cited bands like Cradle of Filth and Slipknot. Well, I'm not an extreme metal band that much, you guys. But anyway, Ed loves metal and he wants to make a death metal album specifically. To which Danny Filth of Cradle of Filth took to Twitter and kind of, cast doubt on the fact that Ed is a big fan of Cradle, but who knew? Ed is a huge hit maker. He sold millions of records for himself, pop stars, rappers, and whatnot. He was in Game of Thrones, famously, so very surprising to hear that he loves metal. We can't legally show you a photo of Ed, but you know what he looks like with his distinctive ginger features. Here is a picture of a cat that kind of looks like Ed. And now for a look at who rules its streaming. We bring you the 4th annual fundraiser supporting David Z, the late bassist and beloved musician and producer who passed away. You can watch the whole live stream on YouTube, but here's a short list of those who appeared: Mike Portnoy, Nuno Betancourt, Richie Kotzen, Mark McGrath, Kip Winger, Richard Fortas, Arnel Pineda, Chris Caffrey, Jeff Scott Soto, Billy Sheehan, Teddy Zigzag, Eric Singer, Bruce Kulick, John Popper, Joe Hokestra, Brett Scallions, Ron Thal, and many more.
And now for a look at some of the music on New Music Friday. Big City, Testify, Frontiers SRL, Bulb, Moderately Fast, Adequately Furious, 3 Dot Recordings, Cognitive, Malevolent Thoughts of a Hastened Execution, Unique Leader Records, Confined to Oblivion, Resumption, Self-Released, Death on Fire, 6 Foot Box EP, Self-Released, Fell Harvest, Pale Light in a Dying World, Self-Released, Gwar, Bloody Pit of Horror Vinyl Re-Release, Lust in Space Vinyl Re-Release, Metal Blade Records, Heaven and Earth, 5, Frontiers SRL, Inner Stream, Stain the Sea, Frontiers SRL, Ophidian Eye, Desolate, Season of Mist, Paradise Lost, At the Mill CD and DVD, Nuclear Blast Records, Razor, Escape the Fire Re-Release, High Roller Records, Resurrection Kings, Skygazer, Frontiers SRL, Rianne, 23, Frontiers SRL, Shadows Fall, Of One Blood Vinyl Re-Release, M Theory Recordings, Shotgun Mistress, Crusader Records, Solar Haze, The Solar Age EP, Metal Assault Records, Space Chaser, Give Us Life, Metal Blade Records, Times of Grace, Songs of Loss and Separation, Wicked Good, Vona, Atropos, Profound Lore, Wizard Throne, Hypercube Necrodimensions, Napalm Records, Wizard Merlin Split Release, Turn to Stone Chapter 3, Wizard vs. Merlin, Ripple Music, Wolfjaw, Starting Gun Re-Release, Listenable Records.
And now for a look in our mailbag. This week's mailbag features this awesome Funko Pop of Devo. We love Devo here at Ghost Cult. They were huge in the 70s and 80s. You might know the soundtrack work of Devo co-founder Mark Mothersbaugh, but this awesome Funko celebrates their cover of the Rolling Stones classic Satisfaction that sounds like, Devo's take on it. I can't get no satisfaction. Very cool. Was in the movie Casino, if you didn't know. Funko has been killing it this summer with a bunch of new pops, including a ton of music pops featuring Ozzy Osbourne and Ghost and NWA and tons of awesome new Funko Pops to collect and enjoy, and I'm going to enjoy this one. You made it to this part of the show, so you know what time it is. It's the end. GhostCultMan.com is a small business. Thanks so much for supporting us. Smash that like and subscribe button and help us out with a follow. Tell a friend, drop a comment, something to help us out. We appreciate it. It means a lot to us. As we say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world. So please, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and stay fucking metal.